Thank you all for coming. I'm glad we slept in a little bit. I'm just going to get started because I've been working on this for an hour and a half and I'm ready to get started. So, the way this works, how these decision-making processes go in an assembly situation is that hopefully everyone's talked about things all year. For example, we're in a cooperative of 1,000 people in a factory. You only have a general assembly once a year. The assumption is people on the factory floor, when they're not doing stuff, they talk about the things that need to be talked about, and people make groups, people make ideas, the board comes with propositions, but it's a constructive process over a full year that is participatory by everyone or not, that results in a vote. And the vote has to happen, yes or no. One example of this is we need to vote on a contribution policy. And if we don't have an agreement, we either default to the thing we had before, or we just don't charge people money for stuff. Because that's how this works. That's for everything. This process started 1 year ago when we were going to create the SCIC formally. We're going to sign papers, blah, blah, blah. And we realized, the board members then, that we had no idea what we were making a SCIC about. We didn't have a policy for contribution or membership or any of these things. We just had a document, and what was decided wasn't decided by the collective in a good process. It's no one's fault, was the situation. So we made a new board. We met once a week for 4 months, I forget. Looked at all of the different problems, departments, concepts, and we made propositions. As is the situation when the board makes a proposition, we have this proposition, but we have some questions. It's not 100% done. So we did an online, what I call the online general assembly, but technically it was kind of a, hi everyone, this is what we did. And we called for the Federation to read this, ask questions, and give feedback. And then we would make modifications between then and the General Assembly. We did not get any feedback. So, those propositions are unchanged as of last week. These days, we have talked and made some decisions and things, and some people have made more narrow, more detailed propositions, and some people have made new propositions, as I understand it. So, what we're doing today is similar structure. First, we go over what are the things we're voting on, what are the current propositions, and we say yes, no, abstain. If something has more than 60% yes, or 60% no plus abstain, then we have a decision. On things where we're really not clear and we want to try some more, we have a bunch of time today to go into working groups, think about it, make more detailed things, make a new proposition, come back, and we have a second round of voting, which now is a just simple majority, 51%. And whatever happens, happens. At the end of this vote, we're done. The General Assembly has ended, and that is what we're doing this year. We can have an emergency online assembly in 6 months with more voting. We can have it in 3 months. But that would be hard. We will have another assembly in 1 year, where will there be more voting. So, we need to, yeah, go ahead.
Just one thing, I hope this is not forgotten. Something that we need general awareness about is that everybody knows whether or not formally they have the right to participate in the vote. So, if there is anyone here who is uncertain about their status, for example, if you're participating in the Erasmus program, you will be very welcome in the Federation someday, but you don't have a right to vote yet. That doesn't mean that your voice is not being heard in a group. Every influence is important, but the formal right to voting is not yet achieved for those who have the Erasmus status or who are in the first year of a membership status, because it's a kind of limbo state. No, that is too negative. You know what I mean. Is there anyone who doesn't know about their status, whether or not they have a right to vote? That is a very good sign.
That is a very good. Awesome, great. Yes?
Other question is that everyone vote as ourselves, or it's like a vote
Per cooperative. One vote per cooperative.
Okay.
And according to,
One for employees?
and theoretically,
One for employees?
right now, one for employees, yes. Theoretically, your cooperative should have decided. There are two types of voting in this situation. One is called representative, and it's where you talked to all your workmates about everything before you got here, and they told you, we want this. Vote for this, I don't care what you think. The other type of voting is, we trust you. And things will be different. We can't know everything. We think you are the best representative of our values. You have authority to make decisions on the fly as you represent the cooperative. I am not going to ask if any of you did that. But so I want to give some context. Theoretically, that is how this works. And some federations use representative, some use autonomous. It's an open political debate. Are there any questions about what we're doing today? Okay, so present things, vote, debate, present, vote, finish. So as much as it's going to be really tempting to start debating, we're not debating. Now we're debating. Yeah? Okay. Any people stop talking about it? Okay. The points that I understand that we have are these. If there are other things after this in the debate section, say, Paul, we have a thing and you forgot it. And we'll put it in. If you see something really important right now, tell me and maybe we can add it. But we have training. We have not talked about training a lot here, but it's one of the things in the board propositions. Facilitation of the network, PR and marketing, commercial, bulk purchases, geographic federations, grants, gender perspective, contribution system. I decided to put things that seemed easier at the beginning, things that are more complicated towards the end. Any questions about the list? Okay. Number one, training. The current proposal, as of the board proposition, was we have this golden opportunity of Erasmus+. We would love to develop a larger training program that people made a pretty detailed idea about. It's in the document, the 30-page document. It would be more than just the exchange of practices. But for now, we keep doing Erasmus, and we reassess how much training, more or less, we can do when we know if we have more Erasmus. Erasmus, the grant ends December 31st of 2024. We will be applying for a new Erasmus, but we don't know if we will get it or not. So when we receive feedback from that Erasmus second grant, that would be the time when we say, okay, do we have resources to do more, less, whatever, blah, blah. So, okay, that is the training proposition. Any questions about the training proposition? Really quick, should we vote at each one, or should I go through all of them and then vote? Should vote after each one.
Each one.
Okay, so we have yes, no, abstain. Every cooperative, please, yes, no, abstain. Yeah? Okay, cooperatives who agree with this training proposition, please raise your hands.
Agree, yeah?
Agree. 1, 2,
If you agree,
agreement now. One vote per cooperative. I don't know how many people are in your cooperative. Sorry, no, great. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay. Great. Does anyone vote no to this proposition? Raise your hand. Okay. Does anyone abstain from this vote? Okay.
100%.
Who is writing down the voting? Awesome. Next, facilitation of the network. There's a general plan here with a lot of details to work out. Hey, guys, translators talking good, other people bad. The proposal, as I understand it, is we have a creation of a database of useful info, and we have a person involved in charge of organizing the space and keeping it updated. Every proposition from here out has two things: qualitative, quantitative. What does this mean? This is the format, the structure, the methodology. We say yes or no, we like the structure methodology. The second part is how much. How many hours? How much money? What are we doing? It's the quantitative part. And every proposal can be broken down to those two things. So, first we vote on the qualitative aspect. We could do facilitation of the network that says something else. Every cooperative is going to get 1 paid hour a week to talk to each other a lot. It's doing a thing. It's asking if I know something. We could propose that we hire an external consultant to help us facilitate the network. The proposal is that we create a database of useful information and one person from the collective responsible for it. Remind everyone, if we say yes, we do this. If we say no or abstain, it means later we make a debate and we rework this proposition. Yeah? So no isn't, I hate facilitation of the network. No is, I think we want to work on this today more and do a new vote with a better proposition in the afternoon. You understand? Okay, sorry, I'm a little nervous, so I want to make sure I'm very, very clear about everything. So,
Wi-Fi, ouais, je fais mobile.
so, qualitative aspect. What cooperatives vote yes for this proposition? Please raise your hands. Keep them up. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Great. Who votes no? All right. Please raise your hands again for yes. Yes votes, raise your hands one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Good thing we did this second. Does anyone vote no? Anyone abstains? Good, the math is still working out. Okay, if we have a sum that's not 25, we'll have a problem. All right, quantitative aspect. The proposal we made was 90 hours plus 75 hours of work this year for the coordinator. One bucket was the creation of the system and the database, and one was long-term, over the year, to maintain things. If we vote yes, we are going to do our very, very best to find budget for someone to do this. I don't know where we'll find that, but we're going to try. If we vote no, we have to come up with a different number. Yeah? Okay. Who votes yes for this number of work for facilitation of the network? Yes, this is the yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18? 18. Who votes no?
Or you go to translate and then you ask for what
All right. Please vote yes again.
like how many hours you need? Because I can't count. Like I try.
How many hours is that per week? It's per month. It's no August, no September. I think it's 10 months and 7.5 a month plus the 90 for the creation of the whole thing.
2 hours a week, probably 10 hours for the first month and then just...
Okay, just to clarify, guys, we need less debate over there. I'm sorry, but we need.
It's unclear.
It's not a.
The first question was unclear because it was not whether we do or not. Is we do as this or we do as another way. And some people can't understand that.
Right.
So we need to explain.
We've had a long time to talk about this stuff. The question that was formally raised was, what is this in week or months or weeks? 90 hours are to create the system in a short time frame, and then 75 hours is 7.5 hours per month for 10 months. And that gets us to the next assembly. All right.
Second question, if we say yes, and then we realize we don't have budget for these hours, what happens?
So right now, this isn't in money, because we don't have a formal proposition about how to pay for people's work in different regions and stuff. So right now, what the mandate would be from the General Assembly is, we want CoopCycle to do this in this many hours. And the job of the board and the coordination team would be to, as effectively as possible, accomplish that goal. Maybe we find budget for half of this and someone donates half their time. Maybe we find half the budget so we do half. Sorry guys, we execute as best we can. We will do our best to execute what we want to do here, but later there is the reality of the world we live in. Yes?
There are already contribution rules that exist, and some money is collected.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe not enough for this hours, it needs to be discussed, or maybe not in a good way, but money is coming from contributions and grants already.
Okay, we're getting into debate. So, who votes yes for this amount of time dedicated to this? Yes, vote. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Who votes no? Any cooperatives abstain? 4. 5. Oui? 5 abstentions.
That means lacking one vote.
I'm going to call that, if no one puts their hand up, it's automatically an abstention.
Yeah.
The problem is if we have more than 25. All right, PR and marketing. Qualitative aspect. The proposal that came out of the marketing debate was that what we want to do qualitatively is to explain to the public what our job is as messengers, and we want to show our values, not political statements. What this means is, 1, the job of marketing will be to tell people CoopCycle is a thing and it's messaging and messaging is cool and it's on a bicycle, blah blah. Not some other marketing plan with other goals. Show our values, not politics, means that we demonstrate the values we talked about at the beginning, not saying you need to have 15% or less of independent contractors. So on the website it would say, we believe in worker democracy, not do you have 15% or more independent contractors.
Just to add some really just for everybody to understand this, the idea was the work we did was like, what do we do first in the first year that is easy to do and that is really prioritary.
Yeah.
So it's not like, it's just like if we have to start a PR marketing department tomorrow, what is our first goal we have to do as CoopCycle?
Okay. Who votes? What cooperatives and workers vote yes for this proposition? 1, 2, 3.
Explain again. So show our values, not politics. With that.
Yep. Sorry, pause. So. No problem. Another example would be that. Right now, or before, the website said, it's a marketing tool, but our Instagram, our website, whatever, said, we are a federation of cooperatives, which is a legal entity. And it was also a lie. Most of CoopCycle organizations were associations. It's not a cooperative. What we want to put on the website is the values, which include things like worker democracy, collectivism, cooperativism is a concept, but it doesn't say we are a federation of legally created and statute French cooperatives. It says we believe in working collectively. All right. Who votes yes for this proposition? 1, 2. We wait for the French tradition. All right. Ready, French transition people? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24. Who votes no? Who abstains?
Yeah.
Okay. So 24, 0, 1. It's not looking good. All right. The quantitative aspect would be dedicate some of the time of Paul Belmet. Paul Belmet works with CoopCycle 1/2 day a week, 4 hours. So dedicate a percentage of his time and help from cooperatives. We don't have a number to make the website good or better. 2, that we will make an effort to represent CoopCycle at messenger events like the championships or alley cats or sister cats. 3, we will make an effort for CoopCycle to be represented at PR events, means a logistic conference, a platform cooperatives thing in Brussels. And lastly, we'll make a yearly plan. This is a working group. They will make a more detailed, more planned marketing strategy for the entire year, based on these principles. Any questions about the quantitative? Yep.
Like the messenger events in like every country that are the CoopCycle different. So where is the CoopCycle? Or
I can say.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the idea of the difference between represented at messengers events and PR events, like at messengers events we are all members of CoopCycle and we should all work together to be there, if we are there, to represent CoopCycle as part of our cooperative. Like we go to an event, we are our cooperative representative, but we are also a member of CoopCycle.
Now it's 26.
And the PR event is more like for the commercial department or somebody from CoopCycle
Just
to
around.
represent CoopCycle at bigger events, where he is paid for it and he will also bring something to CoopCycle at this moment.
Any questions? Okay. What cooperatives and workers vote yes to this proposition? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay. Who votes no? We have one no vote. Who abstains? One abstention. Can, Jerome's talking to Krokrup, just arrived. Now we will have 6 votes, not 25 votes.
So it can tell again the result.
23, 1, 1.
1 no, 1 abstain.
Okay. Commercial. Qualitative aspects of the commercial plan are that 1, we need to have contracts. They should exist. Later we'll talk about what's in the contract. But quantitatively, we should have a contract. To be clear, this is talking about CoopCycle trying to get large regional and national clients that then are shared between cooperatives. So Paul goes and is a commercial for a super awesome client and brings it to Lanbisi in L'Hospitalet. And now Raul has super awesome work for him. That's what we're talking about doing. We use a percentage system that goes down over time. So not a flat fee, not we all put together whatever we have. We will, the money that the commercial contract makes, a percentage of it will be given to CoopCycle. Later, there's a number. But now, do we agree on having contracts and using a percentage of the income from the contact, and that the percentage over time goes down? Do we agree? Yes. What cooperatives and workers? Go yes. Actually, sorry. Do we have any questions about this proposition?
Percentage goes down over time, so you mean percentage, like you have the duration of a contract, and the percentage goes down over time, or like 30 contracts have 1%, and a new contract that you make in 2 years, and a small percentage.
So the proposition is that every new client. So today I make a contact for Raul, and for 1 year it's 20%. I'm making up numbers, but for year 2 it's 15. For year 3 it's 10. But in year 3 I make a contract for Chicago, and it's 20, 15, 10. Yeah? Any other questions?
What is the percentage?
3%. So if you have 1,000 euros in income from my awesome client that I found you, and the percentage is 3%, CoopCycle will get 30 euros.
How many times?
No, but here is just qualitative aspect. It's like
So next we have numbers and contracts. First, the model is a good model.
Questions are asked also for me.
Okay, I'll do it. All right. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. What cooperatives and workers vote yes to this? 1, 2, 3. Vote now. Hands up or down? Okay, I'm counting from here over. Let me start over here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17? Yeah. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. Who votes no? Who abstains? 1. 2. All right. Now, quantitative. We only have one proposition. Proposition is, if the client requires an integration, Shopify, DB Schenker, we made a whole technology thing for DB Schenker integrations. It was a lot of work for Antoine, mostly. Those have a higher percentage than clients with no integration. So, for example, if CoopCycle goes to the French national last mile people and convinces someone, DHL, to work with Metz. You already work with DHL, doesn't matter. Then, if DHL has an integration with CoopCycle technology, so on the platform, boop, DHL, number one. If DHL says no, we use the DHL app, or we use pieces of paper, or we just use phone calls, number two. Understood? Okay. For the year 1, 15% and 10%. Year 2 to 4, 10%, 10%. Years 5 and future, 5%. Remember, if we say no now, then we keep the model. Later we break into groups, and we make a new numbers. Yeah? Alright, first.
So it's it means that from the if it makes a process, the income
Please guys.
15% of the income every month.
So the question, 1 second, I was asked to re-say the question. The question was, if this means that for the first year, 15% of all of the income from the client would go to CoopCycle. The answer is yes. And then year 2, every month, 10%. Then years 5 plus, 5%. Every month. Well, okay, I lied actually. We didn't make a payment plan monthly or yearly or trimesterly, but so I don't know when we would make invoices exactly. It would be all of these.
Sorry, I have to.
No, it's fine.
It's from the companies that CoopCycle have to get to the
Yes. She asked if this is for clients that CoopCycle has gotten for the cooperative. This only applies to your clients or your clients. End of story. But if I get DHL or Alvin gets DHL to work with Golia Footage in Budapest, for year 1, 15% of the income will go to CoopCycle. Then year 2, 10%. Then year 5, 5%.
And in that way, the DHL uses CoopCycle application to have with things.
She asked if that is in that situation DHL is using the CoopCycle app integrated. The answer is yes. Without the integration, it would be 10, 10, 5. Yeah. Okay, Alex. Should we pause? We have a lot. I'm hearing a lot of whispering, and it's really hard to do this with lots of whispering. Please, translators only.
So if you said it already, but in the proposition it's written 5 plus, so 5 on year 6, do you still pay?
The question is 5 plus. What does 5 plus mean? The current proposition is 5 until the end of time. Remember, we'll vote again on stuff next year. So like we can right now it can be 5 plus, and then later we make it not 5 plus. But right now the proposition is forever. And ever and ever and ever. All right. Oh, yep. Question?
I just think it's a bit too early to put this fixed number. It's fixed numbers that was already presented.
Sorry, 1 second.
I know
sorry,
that we didn't discuss. It's why you can vote no now, and we can talk about later.
So, sorry, 1 second. The question was, maybe it's too early to be talking about specific numbers. And the response from someone is being that this is the numbers that were in, where were these numbers before?
And it was with, I didn't know you wanted to be on the work group.
So he didn't know these were the working group, and these numbers were presented in the class they did, and here we are. And that's why we can vote no, is because maybe we don't like these numbers, and we want to have different numbers. So again, the reason why we have this structure is that we have agreed to do commercial activities as a federation. If we don't agree on a way to pay for it, it's very hard to do that. Some things, especially things that we've already started doing, like commercial activities, It's very important we have something soon, or not, but we know that. Here, go ahead.
I just want to try to, yeah, to be really clear, the idea of these numbers was presented because it was based on the yearly cost of a person that was doing it. I re-explained it earlier this week. We already have this in the paper we presented 6 months ago, was it 3 months ago? It's just like, I'm not sure it's the right number, it's just numbers for now, we can work on it after. We can accept this one. 15% represents if we have like a yearly income of 200,000 euros for everybody, and it's a French tryout. It's not, it's 4 persons that just only profit of this department. It represents 20,000 euros for 24,000 euros income for CoopCycle to pay for one part job senior person to deal with the clients and one trainee that will now just gather information and do stuff for CoopCycle on this department. Just for everybody, like a quick deal.
So, okay, so this, Titouan, wait guys, we can't do this. If you want to make a comment, raise your hand, you'll say it, I'll say it again here, we'll translate it, and then but we have to do explicit questions, not debating. If we want, we vote no right now. And then we have a working group, and we debate stuff, and we make a new proposal. No problem if we vote no. Really no problem. Yes, Titouan.
Yes, my only point is that for example, provider contract, where we have very few possibilities of negotiating in reality, like
Titouan, that is a debating point, not a question.
If you want to debate, vote no, go into the working group, debate it there, come back with another question.
All right. Who votes yes to this proposition? 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. Who votes yes? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yes votes. Who votes no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Who abstains? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Great. 9 abstentions. Is that math okay? The math just got a lot harder. Awesome. That is an automatic abstention then. Great. So we have voted. We do want to make contracts. We do want to use a percentage system. But we do not know what numbers we want right now. So there will be a working group after this to make another or a more detailed quantitative, not qualitative, proposition. If you have interest to be in this working group, please raise your hand right now. If you have interest to be in the working group of commercial, please raise your hand. Yannick. Aloïs, we need to write down all these names.
Yeah,
No, the names
of the people with their hands up.
and now you want to do that, but I didn't start like this.
The names for the working group.
Ah, okay, sorry.
Just write the names.
The voter.
No, not the voter.
Okay, okay.
Just write down these names. Hands stay up. I'm sorry. You have to your hand. What's up? Sorry.
Non, mais qui vont lever la main maintenant.
Okay.
Pas de les
I write. It's really going very fast. Dis-moi les noms. Ouais. Next.
Nico, Aurélien.
Eric. I will write it after. Tell me the names.
William.
S'il vous plaît.
Hugo.
Okay, great. Everyone sit back down, please. Please stop talking in little groups. Thank you. All right. Okay. Next, bulk purchasing. Qualitative aspect of the proposition is pretty open. Make a position to deal with the problem. Right now, we do have people doing some commercial, doing some training, doing blah. Right now, we don't have anyone doing anything about bulk purchasing. The proposition qualitatively is to do that. Oh, sorry, I was doing an example. You're not the proposition. You were in front of us, and I asked him to come. So, the question is...
I thought it was a fantasy name that you said, man.
She was in front of me when we were talking. I'm so sorry. Right. The proposition is, we don't know, though, if it should be an existing coordinator with 20 hours a week. Part of their job should be bulk purchasing, or it should be someone who's not currently doing stuff, who only does this. Ruth. The idea is we'll make a decision based on who we can find. So we don't know which. Any questions? Okay. So bulk purchasing would be, we talk to Bullet, and Bullet will sell us 500 cargo bikes at half price. Yay! Or messenger bags, or something, or chains, or insurance. I don't know, right? And right now we don't have anyone doing it at all, or even trying. And we want there to be someone to try. And we'll figure out, depending on who's available, if it's some new person who just comes in to do this, or if, well, 5 hours a week is all that's do this.
But I have a question. What's the goal?
The goal is
Sponsors.
To get deals.
no,
Material, not money.
no.
Material.
Yes, the goal. Sorry, the question was, is this to get sponsors or get stuff? And the answer is stuff. We want stuff.
With better price.
With discounts from producers.
We want discounts from producers, for example.
Question. So, if we choose someone, so it means that.
Guys, this is what we can't do. Please wait, raise your hand, because otherwise I can't hear them, no one can hear them. Please.
So, if we choose someone, this person had to contact with these companies like Aywaille or I don't know, Bugaboo, and for example have to send a message to the co-ops that okay, now we can buy this, and it's the job that he had to order it.
So the question is if this role would be to go talk to Bullet or whoever, negotiate some deal, and then go back to the cooperatives and propose that deal to them. Go ahead.
So something that we started in the workshop yesterday, to explain it very briefly, was to gather needs, see different sectors of each business, try to start seeing what exactly is needed, and from there trying to contact and find brands or manufacturers, or see what we already have established as contacts. And if any co-op raises another need, then this position can say, does anybody else need this? If no, sorry, get it yourself. If yes, okay, let's try to organize another, establish another connection. So the whole deal is co-ops influence the bulk purchasing position to get stuff in better quality, for better prices, in bigger quantities, whatever.
Details should be detailed, please. Okay. The proposition is we have a role of a person to do this stuff. Next week, if possible. All right. Who cooperatives employees votes yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23. 22, sorry, 22. Who votes no? 1, 2. Okay. Who votes abstain? 1, 2. All right.
26.
Nice. Quantitative aspect. Right now, the proposal being made quantitatively is that this position or role should be 5 hours a week, which, if my math is right, is 260 hours a year. Much like the second proposal, I don't know how much this will cost, or if it's paid for, or something. We will try to execute this as well as possible. The current proposal is this. Any questions? Again, if we vote no, later we have a working group, like today, and we can make a new number. Okay. Do the cooperatives and workers vote yes? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Marina? Okay, 10. Who votes no? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Abstentions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope, 9. 10.
Makes.
Yeah. Alright, abstentions we don't really need to count, I guess. Alright. So that does not pass. So we have just decided we are going to create a position, but we don't know how many hours we want that position to be. So, who has an interest in being in a working group to just make that number later today? Tony? Titouan? Please write down the names.
Is it possible to participate to a working group?
It will be the same time.
Right now, we want to know interest, but later you can't be in two. Hermione Granger, I think.
For working groups, it's like a 2 hours time frame that we have between 2 and 4 o'clock to make this decision refining. So we unfortunately don't have a day for this, so we can't have multiple same person in multiple people group. Sorry.
What is the maximum of for one?
Don't have maximum. The maximum of people here.
Altogether.
How many for this one? How many we have?
2, 3. 3 people. Okay.
Plus me.
Plus Jerome, 4.
For the
Sorry guys, hold on. Hold on. You can't do that. Alright, I'll be.
For the percentage of to accept it.
Guys, I'm sorry. You can't do this.
So we need 60% to adopt the position. Is it 60% of total voters? Okay, so abstention counts somehow. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll always ask if abstentions count as no's.
They do.
In this one, it's no. In later, when it's at 51%, it's abstention is complete abstention. This is how I understand it.
So not taking the decision counts as a no.
In practice, yes.
Yeah,
Right now.
but that's important for people to know because, yeah, I mean, then you can't just sit and on your hands and not take a decision. At some point, you need to take a stand.
Abstentions are in effect, effectively, will like they count as no's.
The first vote. So we will explain later.
All right, we'll go over the voting process again before the next vote. All right. Geographic representation. So, Okay, yeah, right. So, last year we said we're interested in geographic federations, but we don't have any real goals. But like, they're cool, we should think about them. Like I said yesterday, we made an effort, here we are now. There was no plan, there was no nothing. By default, it was something that I was working on. The proposal is, in a qualitative way, that the think about federations in a geographic way should be part of the president position. When I made a list of the presidential responsibilities, such as making an agenda and making monthly reports, this would add to that list of responsibilities having an interest and activity in contacting or creation of geographic sub-federations. Instead of that being a coordinator position, or instead of that being something we just all do. Questions? First.
Just geographic representation is like under CoopCycle Spanish, Italy, French,
or Breton, or Basque, or Catalan, or... Sure. So, like yesterday, we had a Belgian federation thingy that's a little corporate-y. It's here. We have representation from Som Ecologista, which is a federation of bike logistics social economy organizations in Catalonia. It's a good description. Yeah, right. And what was the other thing? And one of the grant opportunities we had last year was an interregional grant. And we said, well, let's try to make a fund, Brittany Federation. I don't know, I think we didn't get it, I don't remember. But those would be, there might be a Mexico Federation, or we have interest from Ghana, right? So having sub-federations in geographic spaces that make sense. It's not country-based federations, it's not bioregion, it's geographical. Any other questions? Remy?
I don't understand. Why it's part of the president position?
So, if we want to focus on this somehow, we need someone to take it seriously as part of their role. We can either believe in the decentralized autonomous power of all the cooperatives, and everyone will just do it. Or we could say, we hired Jerome to do stuff. This is one of the things Jerome as an employee should do, as an example, or Ruth, I don't know. Or it could be part of the role of president, which is an existing role. Because of how the characteristics of what this is, which is go talk to people on sort of a high level, know multiple people, blah, blah, blah. The proposition is to be part of the presidential position instead of undefined. Right now it is undefined. So if we vote no, then we don't have a plan for who will think about the geographic federations and contact and do stuff. That's okay. We'll make a working group. We'll figure it out. Maybe we want to do an employee. Cool. Gonna wait for the French translation. Okay. What cooperative employees vote yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Right? Who votes no? And the rest is abstention. All right. So, the role existing, this is, to be clear, this is my proposition. So, that's why Alvin or Jerome is not helping. The level of interest right now, I made 3 names of level of interest. Right now is what we're doing. There's no hours dedicated. It's just like, hey, it's cool. And sometimes you talk to people, but it's like low level interest. We can either stop trying for now. So for now, we don't do it. But in the future, if we do it again, president, we can keep what we're doing now, which is low level, but a little bit of time. Or we can explicitly try to encourage and make federations. this might be we focus more on regional grants. Or this might be that we go and talk to people in a place and like try to have a meeting to, yeah. So it's not super specific, the three options, I'm sorry. I actually am not sure how to do voting of options.
If you vote yes on A, it nullifies B and C.
Yeah, yes. So maybe we start with stop trying or start up here? What do we do?
I would say A.
Start with A? Okay. What cooperative / employees want us to explicitly start trying to create regional federations? Please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Who votes no to number A? 1. Guys, Serge. There was 1 hand, 2 hands. Okay, 2 no's and abstentions. Is that a pass?
It's 8 abstain, 2 no's, so 10 against 16.
What's 60% of 26?
Should be adjusted.
We should know, that's a very important calculation. 1 second. Buffering.
15.6.
15.6, so this is passed. Okay. Later, we will try to make a decision and execute it about how much time this represents. So we'll try to do that. Okay. Grants. All right. So, sorry, another 3 option voting thing. Right now, CoopCycle has been dedicating almost all of its grant capacity to trying to find grants for CoopCycle. Sometimes cooperatives are in those grants. Erasmus Plus is one example. CoopCycle has Erasmus Plus, but Ereman, Ryan Neuf, sorry, Chicago, Naufood's not. Sorry, CoopCycle's sorry, the cooperatives are Ereman, Ryan Neuf, and Chicago are participating, so they also get some benefit and they also provide a service. Other times we just have a grant, right? ADEM was a grant that we got to do stuff on the platform, and CoopCycle did it, full stop. So, the 3 options we have, the proposal that was made in the document that we shared 6 months ago was that after applying for many, many grants for CoopCycle, the grant department should start helping cooperatives find local grants. We want to help Robin Food get a grant for sustainable pike delivery in Florence, and we want to help Mensakas get a grant for something else. I don't know. But it's for Mensakas, it's for Robin Food, it's not for CoopCycle. Yeah? So, we can either try to help cooperatives get local grants, or we can keep trying to focus on grants where CoopCycle gets funding, but with cooperatives helping out, or we can keep trying to fund CoopCycle with ADEM type grants. It's CoopCycle and maybe an external person, and we get funding directly for CoopCycle. If we are voting on a focus and an intent, can't promise any of the grants will work. Either the grants that exist or the grants that exist. But the priority would be this, or this. Yeah? Questions? Formal questions? Yeah.
One question, what type of partners in the last proposition?
So the question was, what type of external partners exist?
Messenger company or another type of partner?
It can be very diverse, is the answer. In grants we've applied for, and then they said no, very sad. Smart Germany was an example. It is an entity that tries to help independent contractors have invoices and pay taxes and have access to Social Security. and there was a grant, we thought we could work together with them on development of some administrative technology for CoopCycle that they would also like. Another example is we could try to make grants with the Belgian Confederation of stuff that we had yesterday. Basically, anyone who later we have to work with them, so they can't be people that we don't want to work with.
If we try external partners, they will have power in CoopCycle or not?
The question is, if we work with external partners grants, will they have any power inside of CoopCycle? No. We have to do a thing together that we all agree to do, but they are not a member of CoopCycle. Yep.
Well, actually, we missed the previous because the voting system changed. Just can you explain? Do we vote R2 and 3 together? There are options.
Sorry,
another. There is only one
more.
Sorry.
Another or.
Yeah.
There's
1,
three
2, or 3. Yeah.
It's a question of prioritization. So we are doing grant finding, and we decide: do we want to prioritize this one, or this one?
I'm sorry, we missed it.
No, that's fine.
We missed the previous result of the previous slide.
The voting. It was 16.
16.1.
No, I got to the point, but I guess there's a multiple option also on the previous.
Yes.
Nobody.
So it was we voted well because we the.
Okay, so we skip because.
Right, because we agreed on the first one.
Okay.
Okay. Cooperatives and employees, do you vote yes to try to help cooperatives get local grants as the top priority for grant finding? Please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, who votes no?
Hey, you can't actually vote no on that because I'm not against that, but I think number 2 is more important. So it's not I'm not.
We have to.
So you vote no here and yes there. We'll do one vote, one vote, one vote. But last time the first one won, so we didn't need to vote of the other two. Right. So who votes no on option 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Who abstains from from proposition number 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, and everyone who didn't vote. 5.
I just have a question.
Yep.
Why can't we do both?
It's a prioritization question. If we vote this one, for example, and there just aren't any, well then we'll have to do other things. So, like everything here, we will then execute this as well as we can in the conditions we are in.
Can you explain slowly again the 2 following?
Yep. So number 2 would be like Erasmus Plus, where all of the money from the grant is going to CoopCycle and cooperatives inside of the network.
The mentors.
The mentors, for example. And another example of one of these would be an interregional grant to promote cycle logistics in the social economy, and we want to do it between a cooperative in, for example, Montpellier and Barcelona, because it's interregional. So it's cooperatives from Montpellier and Barcelona that are inside of CoopCycle. This would be, we want to do a grant to maybe foment psychologistics and stuff. And we want to have a social economy accounting firm in Catalonia, and we want to have a network of booksellers from Marseille, and all 3 of us are the partners, that then we maybe do something, we do some training, or we do some, I don't know. But usually the grants can be separated into grants where CoopCycle and CoopCycle members are doing a thing, or if CoopCycle is finding money with other people to fund CoopCycle activities. And maybe something goes to cooperatives, but it's more to fund CoopCycle, coordination, dev, etc., etc. What's I think important to mention here, this requires a level of responsibility from the cooperatives. This is maybe harder sometimes. If we want to do a thing with cooperatives in Barcelona and Montpellier, and it's a 2-year program, we need to have people contracted, well then you can't close that cooperative after year 1. Because the grant, they ask for the money back. So it's good because it gives money to cooperative members to do something cool, but it's also a level of responsibility for the cooperative. For this one, less responsibility for the cooperatives. But also the money only goes to dev objectives and coordination objectives at the federation level. Sorry. Remy?
No, it's cool if everybody understands.
Can we vote for several roles? Like,
can we vote for several things?
With one
no. The question is, can we vote for several? The answer is no. We are voting on the highest priority.
Which doesn't mean that if you voted yes for one, you can also vote yes for two, because it's a separate vote.
Huh? No, wait. You just say the opposite thing.
Yeah.
Vote together.
If everyone votes yes for everything, it doesn't. Then we have three top priorities.
So majority wins. It is a separate vote. Okay. If you say like local grants, I'm more for.
Okay.
But this one didn't go through already. Two is the next best thing. For me, it's a separate vote, and you should be able to vote yes again, as you are able to vote no again on another one.
Okay. So Raul says that 2 and 3 are very, very similar.
Yeah.
Raul says that points 2 and 3 are very similar. Which makes it hard for him to vote for one of them. If we need translation, we're going to not have it be me. Sorry guys, I can't do both. Okay, it sounds like we are doing a separate vote, so you can vote yes and yes and yes if you want. All right, great. Number 2, do the cooperatives want, or employees want, the highest priority to be number 2?
No, number 1.
We already did the number 1.
We changed. We don't.
Okay, all right, we're gonna go back. Who wants yes for number 1? Okay. You can now vote for all 3. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still 10. Okay, all right. All right. Number 2. Who votes for yes for number 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Who votes no for 2?
No, just yes.
Okay, fine. Who votes yes for 3? Give you a little better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, it's very good.
All right, great. That was the qualitative part. Now we have the quantitative part. So, this is not all 3. We can't put you.
No. Sorry. I need to raise a problem here.
Yeah.
I think the last vote went wrong.
Okay.
So the thing that we discussed was we have 3 options. On each option, you have the full voting scheme. Yes, no, abstain. If we now only vote like what people are most for, the people who are most against it don't have a vote anymore. For me, this makes no sense. For me, it's option 1, yes, no, abstain, vote, save. If it wins, it's 1. Option 2, yes, no, abstain. Option 3, yes, no, abstain. We go through the whole voting process. Otherwise, those who are against it do not have the same weight of a vote than those who are for it. So we need to find the one of the 3 options that we are most for. It is also possible that all 3 options turn under 60% and all 3 options are no. We cannot just say this is a qualitative vote which can also be denied. So we are not voting, we are not counting only the yeses in order to prioritize one. There's also a possibility to say no. So in my opinion, we need to do this again.
That sound good to everyone?
Can you summarize the proposal for
Okay, so the problem is when they said that, we could say yes to all 3. I kind of accidentally switch the voting method to only doing yes votes. But we needed a no vote as well because they're basically the three different propositions. It's not an or thing. It's three different propositions.
It's the same. Because the one that is not yes or no. So
there's a slight, there's a technical difference.
And at the end, it's a question of prioritization. Perhaps what we can do is based on the yes vote, prioritize this. The one.
The real problem here is that I started this whole presentation with one propositions, and then I got carried away and didn't think about the implications, is the problem. So I don't really know. Sure, we could do a lot of things. And right now what I want to do is have a vote and continue on.
Yeah, but what is the goal of this vote? Is it to know what people want, or which one we should do this year?
Same thing as I understand it.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, but you said that no, if that is not your priority, so then just.
I have proposition. Yep. Can we do a 10-minute break and sort this out on people? Break.
Everyone will vote
10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Like real 10 minutes.
Can we have a waving of hands for who thinks it's a good idea? 10-minute break. We talk about voting. We come back. That looks like a consensus to me.
Real 10 minutes.
I don't understand. Good. I'm not going to do it. You guys talk it out, and I will do whatever.
S'il y a des opportunités pour que partenaire, c'est une façon de s'il n'y a rien avec cette option, mais le truc le plus proche, il faut le prioriser. Et si tu as 2-3 options, il faut prioriser l'option qui a été votée. Mais franchement, de toute façon, à mon avis, 70% des subventions qu'on regarde, c'est à peu près option B. Ouais. Et après, les deux autres, c'est plutôt rare. Mais par contre, mais par contre, option 1, ce serait vraiment quasiment cesser l'activité pour la fédération et voir si tu peux vraiment trouver des fonds locaux. Et là, ça change vraiment le boulot entièrement. Et ça peut être aussi beaucoup plus dur pour toi si toi il faut que tu trouves une subvention à Berlin pour monter. Non, tu te démerdes. Ce serait sympa de ta part.
Mais en fait, c'est que là, on a des propositions en vote. Et en fait, il y a un truc qui va les valider c'est ça, je ne sais pas lequel on fait. À chaque
Antoine, mais
pour moi, les trois doivent être faits
parce qu'il y a aussi la possibilité de toute façon, c'est pas on va tout faire ça. Parce que c'est pas possible de juste lui il peut pas venir à un ratio déjà, est-ce qu'on le fait? Oui, est-ce qu'on le fait? Sinon, parce que non, surtout les trois. Non. Est-ce qu'on priorise?
Et d'abord, est-ce qu'on veut que comme s'ils ne prennent pas à l'histoire de langue
I think it's going.
Ok, donc toi tu veux faire quoi?
Et ensuite, il faut déjà savoir si les gens veulent en fait, à l'intérieur de ce nouveau
just after
there is a fair point in the whole thing. Maybe the grant section needs a step prior to this, and it is, do we grant or no?
That's not a question.
Do we? Or do we continue doing that?
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Someone could at any point create a new proposal for grants, which is the first we stop doing. Nobody has presented that. And this would not be the moment, or it would be a weird moment to the first time make that proposal.
Well, okay, but it would like if we are complicated for people, so probably whether or not, probably it makes sense to just reinstate the fact that we do grants by proposing, do we continue to do grants? Yes, no, same, and then do the three options.
My concern with that is that you apply that logic to everything we do. And if we start voting...
But we have so far. Like, I know these were new departments, so it's like, do we create, yes or no? But since this...
Sure, but we're not asking, do we do HR?
No, but it's like, this is it's a, no, for sure.
No, but here is not about...
But that's also, it's not optional.
But it's also...
It's theoretically optional to have the grants department. It's not optional to have somebody who pays the employees.
We're not talking about making new grants only for CoopCycle. We're talking about we take time to help CoopCycle to make new grants.
As I understand it, CoopCycle currently does grants as a department. Someone, if they wanted to at any point, could have said, I propose we stop doing grants. Nobody did that. So right now, for me, there is no vote about are we doing or not doing grants. The question is, until now, we were funding the focus, the priority was to fund CoopCycle internal activities. And now there's been a proposal to shift focus to helping cooperatives with local grants that don't fund CoopCycle, but they fund their local cooperatives. Do we want to do that, or do we want to keep funding CoopCycle this way or that way?
I agree with that. It's what I said was not my opinion. I just think it helps people to like reinstate, say like overcome the barrier of like grants. Yes, please continue. In order to like, okay, we decided all together again. We continue doing this. I think this will pass because generally there were enough yeses in total. And then go into the detail. And here the voting, in my opinion, needs to happen clearly because like people said like, well, no, like the one with the most yeses will win anyways until it's not enough yeses, which is not true if we have, for example, 14 yeses for two options, then it counts where there were more no's.
I don't want to get into the content of it, but is it possible to formulate just yes no question? Or is it possible in this case? Like we are doing this
with optional vote, it does matter though how many abstain and how many no.
But can we keep out option votes or it's not possible with what?
I feel uncomfortable changing this one.
Okay.
But I'm going to go through all the others and get rid of any boards.
Yeah, because like the choice is very it's very complicated. Explain it.
Actually, I don't think so. But
it's also like.
But sure. I agree that people see like local grants and then they say like this is for us. Yes, but
now
also,
you have a percentage.
Like seeing that there's very little sense in having like one position that is able to cover all member country local grants. Is like complicated. I think I will go outside and talk to a couple of people because there were
people to come. I can do that.
Okay.
I need some water.
I'm more proud of them.
What? Oh yeah.
They are reasonable, attentive, present. They like look at each other, look at this,
got them 2 years ago. This is awesome.
Honestly, like, even the cat.
There was a, I'll tell you more context later. Alright.
I got some context out of it. It was so bad. Like how they came to it. Oh no.
On a pu 3 points de différence qu'on a fini. Là,
You have to put the stream back on. Maybe you did and I didn't rejoin. Yeah, you did. You did. Recording still running. Stream still running. Good.
La partie opérationnelle et commerciale, j'ai pas le pouvoir de décision finale, j'ai juste le pouvoir de dire potentiel.
I love you all. Please start talking.
Come back for this.
I love everyone. Please stop talking. Please stop having small conversations.
Yes, good.
All right. Thank you all for your patience. I apologize for slight technical difficulties about voting formalities. I think this probably is a rite of passage for all cooperative federations. Can someone explain what we decided? Jerome? Alex? Someone?
I wasn't there when you decided.
Who decided that Jerome was there? Jerome? I think Jerome is in the bathroom. Yeah, Jerome. Jerome. Hi, Jerome. Can you explain what we're doing, please? This is the only 3-choice vote I made that I should not have made. So from here on out, we're good. But this vote will take place under the following conditions.
Under the following conditions. So, voting for one of these options means that we continue undertaking efforts to win grants. No for every of them means a working group where probably it can also be redecided whether or not this should continue
The voting options are like single votes, yes, no, abstain. For the case, for example, that 2 would win by the simple yeses, the difference between no and abstain also counts, which means 1, 2, 3 all get a single vote, yes, no, abstain, and you are able to put 3 yeses, 3 no's, and 3 abstains as you prefer.
So,
I need this again to make it. No, it's stopped working.
you got a phone call, so it stopped doing this live stream. Can you say
Can I
that?
actually have a family call in 2 minutes?
Okay, we need to replace Alejandro for Spanish translation.
In 2 minutes. I just need to.
Right, but for 2 minutes? Yeah, you go have family. That's really no problem. And now we need someone else to do Spanish translation.
2 minutes, I can do it.
She can do it, she can do it.
But
It's just
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Sí, sí,
Ah, but my
pero-
phone is not really gonna.
but we need, sorry, we need a Spanish translator and a functional phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, lo hacemos, ¿por qué no?
Yeah, I can try.
What group is it?
Is the Telegram channel? Sorry.
We're now at
How can I be the person who talks?
is it Eddie or is it Alessio?
Good?
I don't know if it's
Ah,
Eddie or
Eddie,
Alessio.
dale.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, I think we're good. Okay.
Okay, we're good.
All right. So possible situations are: 1, if we have a majority of no for everything, no, 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 we make a working group to figure out, are we doing grants? And if so, why? If we get yes, 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 we have a list of priorities. Da, da, da. If we get yes, 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 we look at the no votes and the abstention votes, and we see that really people don't like this one, so higher priority these two. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for number 1, where CoopCycle would help a local cooperative get a grant for that cooperative that they get paid money for and have to do stuff for. Cooperatives there? Who votes yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah? Who votes no for number 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Who abstains from number 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do those numbers add up?
No.
We have more abstentions.
That's 27 all of a sudden.
Yeah.
27? Let's do again, sorry.
Okay. Who votes yes for number 1?
Don't vote twice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. 12. Wait, 13, 14. Sorry. Higher. Who votes no to number 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who abstains from number 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that add up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, great, awesome. Okay, number 2. CoopCycle will try to create grants where CoopCycle gets money, cooperatives are involved, cooperatives do things, cooperatives get some money. Who votes yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Who votes no? 0. Abstentions? 1, 2, 2. 3. CoopCycle finds grants for itself with some help from outside partners, and the money doesn't go to cooperatives, but you don't have to do anything. Who votes yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Who votes no? 1, 2, 3. 3. Who abstains? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Doesn't it up?
That's
37 votes.
Okay.
And Paul, do you want help for the counting because you're doing a presentation, the counting and everything, and I don't know, we find a counter, no? Cancel?
Alright, we're going to do this again with a new counter.
We can finish.
We just do the tree.
We're voting the last one more time. Sorry. Who votes yes for number 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry. Sarah, count. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Count both of you like this. Makes it a lot easier.
14.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Who votes no? 3. Who abstains? 6.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Quantitative aspect. I feel like maybe we did working group already, but
Wait. Sorry. What is the result? Yeah, is there
Option 2.
Okay.
I think you get it.
Option 2 at the most. Option 3 then, and option 1 last.
The proposal is 8 hours a week. I don't think I need to explain this more. Any questions? Okay. No, one thing.
Question?
Who? Oh, yep.
What is the current workload of this position? It's around
The current workload on now has been 100% of what Remy does, which is 17.5 hours per week. To be fair, some of that is helping manage existing grants. So,
And what will represent this? The change? Like
right, so now, at a minimum of that work that he does, 8 hours would be dedicated as much as possible to priority job. Who thinks 8 hours a week is a good number? Yes. Count. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Sorry.
9.
Sorry.
Okay, wait. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hand up, above 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Who votes no? 5. Okay. Who abstains? Okay. 8. All right. So we'll have a working group to decide how much this should be. What number? Who is interested in being in the grant working group? We have 1. Remy, you're in. Sorry, right? I mean, seems relevant. Hands up.
Benoit.
Yeah. All right, that is the end of grants. Now we have gender perspective. I have to switch presentations because Google Slides is shitty and I can't copy photos. So I have to go out of this presentation and go into the other presentation. You said me. Sorry. 1 second. Here we are. No. What? Ah.
on stream. The stream
I
is
think it's still doing it. It's fine. Sorry, it's the same window. It's all good. Okay, who's presenting this? Am I presenting this? Someone. Alright. Apparently I'm presenting this with help from Audi.
Yeah. Audi, do it. You can do it.
So, please be patient with me. I haven't really read this very much.
No, it's not.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the whole presentation of the workshop.
Alright.
Esto estaba bastante bien explicado, como qué vamos a hacer y crear un comité, que está bien.
Okay.
La primera propuesta es crear un comité dedicado.
Okay, the first proposal is to create a committee of gender perspective.
Vale,
And that's the first thing.
Sí.
Pues para votar o más expresión.
No, explicamos si quieres lo que es y ahora decimos sí o no.
Okay.
Ok. ¿Qué es? Tendrá que estar jugando, tendrá que estar generada en la...
So this is what the committee will do. This is the time frame in which it will happen.
A ver, déjame que te haga una respuesta. ¿Qué es? ¿Qué te puedo decir? De género, ¿cuándo? Este año vamos a hacer un monitoring time, es decir, que primero nos vamos a reunir cada 3 semanas, vamos a hacer una primera presentación de septiembre y lo van a organizar Marina y Grace. Luego vamos a lo menos primero cada 3 meses y luego se supone que en las siguientes aplicaciones tenemos que haber terminado. Y luego quienes van a estar, que eso es la gente que va a estar en la primera reunión, pero que no es necesariamente la gente que luego va a estar. Ponemos una gente al principio, que luego es la que va a definir también por una serie de criterios, por número de género, número de personas de según qué países, quién va a estar.
Alright, so this is a bit more thorough than the other proposals, so we needed help with the explanation. The proposal, so to be clear, this is one vote for everything together, yes? Okay. This is not multiple parts, this is one complete proposal with a vote.
Ah, no, pero espérate, tenemos como hasta 5 cosas y es una por slide.
So, am I proposing one vote, one vote, one vote,
No,
one
no,
vote?
no, no, no.
This is one.
Eso es el pack entero.
This slide is one thing, and we're voting on this. Okay. The proposal is to create a gender perspective committee. It will be on apparently Slack. It will be executed during this year. The timing will be, there will be meetings every 3 months, and the first one will happen in September. This will establish the committee, and between now and then, the agenda for this meeting will be defined. The people involved in the committee will be members of cooperatives of CoopCycle, 60 to 40%, and external members, 60% members.
No, like members between each other, como asegurar una mayoría de tías, o sea, que haya una mayoría de mujeres representadas, que tenemos un comité mixto, que la mayoría de tías y que la mayoría de personas que no sean de propiamente coach dentro de coach.
So the members of the committee are 8 to 10 people. The majority is women, but not every person in the committee must be a member of a CoopCycle cooperative. The ratio of men to women is 60-40. There is a contact person from each cooperative to respond to these members. So every cooperative must have one person who is contacted with the Gender Perspective Committee to understand what's going on, to receive information only. These people below are responsible for establishing the committee. So, the people that will be in the first meeting are Taj, Yuri, Dodi, Ilya, Nadim, Alexia, Greg, Audi, Doleti, Kikuan, Yanide, and apparently more pending. The people who will create the Slack channel and call for the meeting and generally do the stuff so this happens are Greg and Marina. And here we have to be determined. So in the first meeting, things like these questions will be established then, and then all the people in cooperatives will receive the information of what has been decided. Okay. This is a proposal. It is a pack. What cooperatives and employees vote yes for this proposal?
Tiens.
25. Who votes no? Who abstains? Someone abstains.
No, yeah, Marina was counting double.
I can I can twice. Let's do it. Action plan.
Vale, que tiene una manifiesto es como crear esto lo va a hacer. Te puedo, yo te voy traduciendo frase por frase.
Vale, pero poco a poco.
Vale.
I'm going to just say what you said.
Ok, para la primera parte, para ver lo que vamos a trabajar, tenemos que crear un manifiesto.
So to be able to move forward with this project, we have to create a manifesto.
Va a ser un trabajo que se va a dar durante 2024 y que va a ser parte, o sea, este va a ser el trabajo en sí del comité.
This will be the work of the committee to do that.
Y la idea es que se termine de aprobar en la segunda asamblea general, es decir,
And so the committee will create this manifesto over this time, during these meetings, and the goal is that the next assembly will approve the manifesto that is created.
una cosa de lo que hemos tratado es la creación del comité y ahora lo que vamos a crear es, para lo que vamos a trabajar es que el comité va a trabajar con este manifiesto que luego se derivará en varias acciones.
So we just voted on having a committee. Now we're voting on the fact that this committee will do this job of making a manifesto in this time frame to approve in the next assembly. And it will not do a different thing. Questions? Okay. Who votes yes? Serge. Sí, sí, sí.
No, but it's not possible.
Raise your
It's not
hand.
possible 27. Non, parce qu'on est 26 à voter.
That's 25. Who votes no? Who abstains? Someone went to the bathroom.
Mimi is voting.
Nobody abstains?
No, no.
Okay. Lily, what is your vote?
26
No, yes, yes.
Okay, 26 yes.
Que falta es el mío.
Vale, otra cosa es, vamos a crear unos formularios para medir la igualdad de género en la cooperativa. Esto va a ser un trabajo
Next proposal is that the committee will also create a measurement system about gender equality information inside of cooperatives.
Esto va a ser un trabajo del comité de género y a principio va a estar tirado por el
So this will be a job not only of the committee, it will be a job done together with the Gender Perspective Committee and the Board of Directors of CoopCycle.
Porque la idea es que este formulario sirva para hacer como un diagnóstico, es como un formulario de diagnóstico de cada cooperativa y especialmente el función del conforme.
The reason for this is that this will be a type of diagnosis process for the cooperatives that will be important for things like the onboarding of new projects, and assessment of projects we have. So that's the explanation of why it's not just the Gender Perspective Committee, it's something also done with the Board of Directors.
Vale, y bueno, y que esto es un formulario, pues entendemos que será más o menos rápido entre noviembre y diciembre, como lo hemos hecho, y que se va a incluir dentro de este trabajo de
So this process will take place, this will be created in November to December because they believe it will be faster than the manifesto, and because it will be an important part of the onboarding process, it will be represented in the technical tools we use for onboarding, which right now is Notion. All right. Any questions? All right. Oh, yes.
So to be clear, this is about like creating metrics, like a way of understanding for every call, like what their current status is.
The question is, if this proposal is to create the series of measurements that we use to understand the cooperative's numbers, statistics in regards to gender perspective.
Acordamos en el workshop es que lo que queremos es trabajar tres áreas, la prevención, es decir, crear un ambiente, un environment.
So we want to work on three things. First is prevention.
Crear un ambiente que propicie la equidad de género, ¿no?
Creating an environment, a preventative environment that prevents. Right. In a preventive sense, creating an environment that that favors.
Un entorno que
safe place.
Así como un espacio seguro.
A place that favors a safe space.
Sí, como, o sea, sí, o sea, como que cree el entorno adecuado para que se alcance esta equidad de género.
Right. So create a place that has the conditions that will allow the achieving of gender equity goals.
Claro, otra cosa es la visualización, es como que sería una parte más analítica, que es como detectar cosas que ya están ocurriendo.
The second thing is analysis, detecting what is going on, and having that information.
Y la otra parte es si hay algún tipo de agresión, ya sería como actuar. Hay un protocolo específico ante esa agresión.
The third thing would be having a protocol that is a response mechanism to a case of aggression, or I don't even in English, what's the correct word for this? Harassment. So there's a protocol to know what to do to respond to that situation.
Entonces, estos formularios nos sirven para medir, o sea, como parte de ese trabajo de prevención, para tener más o menos una idea clara de qué es lo que está ocurriendo y poder prever, ok, vale, pues en este grupo está claramente muy masculinizado, entonces igual hay que hacer un trabajo extra o lo que sea, o sea, como para tener datos.
So this part is to have that data so that there can be a real basis on which they decide what things should be done for the protocol in response to harassment, what should be done to create that environment that is productive. How to do that is based on actual data about stuff, and this proposal is to get that data. Any questions? No, guys, no, this is, please, no side conversations. Who votes yes? No, that's 26. Right, that's the good number. Okay. All right. Next.
A ver, otras relacionadas con la prevención, relacionadas también con el grupo, están las qualifications, ¿vale? Hay dos cosas. Una es un training program, o sea, de educación de género, o sea, una de las cosas que tenemos que hacer es como que esto está siendo primero, es hacer como mini cursos de género para toda la cooperativa y de alguna manera pues puede ser obligatorios o algo así, esto está siendo primero.
So these specific action points are a little bit less defined and will need to become more defined, but something that in detail more defined, but generally that we want to do is have educational classes for cooperatives about gender perspective issues.
Y otra cosa es cómo aumentar, o sea, vale, sí, vamos a ir o sea, y la otra sería cómo crear herramientas para aumentar la representatividad de las tías en todas las áreas, ¿no? O sea,
So the next thing is try to create practical tools that foster inclusive organizational culture in the cooperatives themselves.
Estas dos cosas, el training program desde perspectiva de género e intentar también desarrollar estas herramientas que aumenten la representatividad, ¿no? Y que la actividad, la participación de perfiles de mujeres o no binarias o personas travestis son también actividades que se van a cubrir junto entre el comité de género y el board.
Okay. All of the things that guys, okay, no, Raúl, es que de nuevo, si tienes una pregunta,
porque no se tiene que votar nada de aquí ya, ¿no?
Raul asks if we have to vote on these things or not, because we just voted that we could do the things before.
Vale, entonces, pero igual por supuesto que esto, vale, damos por supuesto y simplemente lo presentamos.
The question is being asked is, if we have effectively approved this, creating a gender committee, this, creating a manifesto, the two, having this, the board plus gender committee doing the analysis and the prevention, the protocol, that means all of this has been automatically approved. Because this is the implementation of those decisions.
Okay. Vale, lo único sí que lo siguiente va a incluir la participación del board de CoopCycle y del equipo de CoopCycle.
Okay. So, an important thing to clarify there is that work that we have agreed on and approved will be a work not only the Gender Perspective Committee and the Board of Directors, but also explicitly with the dev team itself as well.
O sea que de alguna manera hay horas de equipo de board y horas de dev que se van a destinar a eso.
So there are hours, working hours, that are part of the working day obligations of employees and board members that will be dedicated to this project.
Okay. Pues entonces si ya está, lo damos por aprobado.
All right. Okay. Last one. No, we'll do that at the end. We'll do that in the next round. The puzzle thing. You prepared? Well, we'll talk about it.
No, but he will present it. Yeah, he's waiting for it.
I'm really not comfortable with this last minute woo-woo. Like, we have another vote later. I think it fits in there. It's no problem. And if he can't do it, he gives it to someone else. Yeah, well, the fact that people don't bring it up. No. Sorry, so everyone knows, Basil is a ex-volunteer, current volunteer of CoopCycle who helps with the French financial stuff, which is really, really important, and also with the HR stuff, which is very, very important. I was told right when we were starting that there's an explicit proposition from Basil, as I understand it. I can add it after this, but it means we'll have to sit here for a minute while Basil connects in remotely. I don't know.
He's already on it. The sound is good, and you're on the presentation also.
It's all set up?
Yeah, it's all set up.
All right. Okay, then I guess if everyone's okay with it, we'll do contribution. It's the last one that I had, and then we do remote with Basil. Is that good?
In 2 seconds. It's about work suffering protocols that they worked on with Marina and researchers, if I'm right, for about this year. Since we talked about last year GA,
Last year we talked about
they started working on it for 1 year, and it's a protocol they want, protocols they want to put into action, and that we have to be voted during this GA, so it can happen. And it's a really quick presentation about what they did, and 5 questions, 5 things they want to ask the General Assembly to vote on.
Okay, we'll do contribution, and if the technical stuff is set up?
Yeah, everything is set up.
Alright, okay. So, yesterday we had, sorry, you could call it a mini vote. I say this because not everyone was present. The Board of Directors has explicitly proposed and shared a long time ago a proposal for the contribution system change. That instead of having a contribution system, that is your annual turnover for everything you do, including the bike shop, minus grant money and minus fixed costs that are not salary, like rent, that times 2.5%. That was the old contribution model. We are proposing that the qualitative... Thanks. Good. Okay. The proposed new format, qualitatively, is a funnel. in which, in year 1, there is a minimum payment, flat fee, and little to no expectations from the project, other than get your business under control, get things going, get things on CoopCycle. Years 2 to 5, price per point, and it's a flat fee. And we, expect you to participate in the communication spaces of CoopCycle. Slack, maybe Discord now, I don't know. Read the Telegram channel, come to the GA. Full members, price per point, but with a discount of some kind, flat fee, and we expect cooperatives who are full members to dedicate real time to the value generation of CoopCycle. That means bug testing, it means a lot of different things that will change from one year to the next. Any questions about this funnel concept? No numbers exactly. The funnel. Not everyone was here yesterday.
I think
there is a little mistake in point 2 because it's year 2 and 5, and the third point is year 3 and 5.
No, it's because you can ask to move to the full member after 2 years. But you maybe don't want to because you have to do stuff. And you have until 5 years to do that or not. Yes?
Do you think it will not encourage structures to create the tasks on the app?
The Quantanas asked if I think that this funnel system will not encourage people to make their tasks not on the application. Because they get charged for it. Because they have to pay for points.
Yes.
Yes.
You think it will,
So we're getting just a little bit in debate territory, but the reason, the assumption behind this model that the board made, is that concern came up in the discussion, is that our job is to make good technology that is worth using. So if people are not putting things on CoopCycle because the money isn't worth the service, that doesn't mean that bad cooperative. It means that we need to make the technology better, and that's part of our responsibility. Yes?
My question is, if we vote for it, when it will start, and everything we decided, everything, how the price and everything. Do you have a plan when it will start?
So the question is, when would this start if we vote on it? So what we have done on the dev side is we've started making it easier to export or understand the status of each cooperative. How many tasks they did, if their instance is in version 2.7.4 or 2.7.5, all that type of stuff. So we will have to still do some things, but it could be implemented in September probably. It's not, there's not a huge number of technical requirements needed to be able to do this practically. In the worst case scenario, I have to download a lot of Excels and count things. So I didn't put a time frame, but the idea would be that it would be applying as of now. Later we have to do some calculations. But any other questions?
When the system is fully implemented, do the various corporations start with the amount of time they've already been full members?
So what we proposed explicitly in the document was that cooperatives that up until that point, which was last January, February, who have been actively involved in CoopCycle, have the right, but not the obligation, to immediately be full members. And if they want, they can be here. But it doesn't make a lot of sense for any of them to be here, economically or politically or any of the ways. So if we approve this, every cooperative who has been here, and we can make a list, but I think we all know who that is, would have to tell CoopCycle, I want to be a full member. When, a month from now, we sign a piece of paper to have the SCIC, and in the pieces of paper, it says who are the members of the SCIC. It would be, No Bad Days said, yes, or we don't want to be in it. and then you're here or there. Yes? Yes?
When there is a price per point, comma flat fee, does that mean the price per point is flat, or does that mean that there is a price per point plus a flat fee?
So the question is, when I say, or when the slide says price per point, comma flat fee, does that mean the price per point plus a flat fee, or if it's a flat fee per point? So yes, some people brought up the idea of a percentage. So it's each drop, but a percentage of the price of the drop. The problem was it's hard to calculate that if nobody has prices for some of the drops. So the proposal is that it is a X cents for each drop. Any other questions? To be clear, if we say no or abstain a lot, we will have a working group talk about the funnel. And if we leave here with nothing voted yes, the only thing we have is the old contribution model. So, what cooperatives and employees vote yes for the new funnel qualitative system? Keep your hands up. Hands up. Is that? Is that one hand? Yeah, okay, just one. That's 15. Okay. That's not a pass, right?
But depend if abstention. No. 15.26. So it's not.
No, it's 15.6. Okay, so that is, yep.
Okay. Am I allowed to say something about this? I don't want to turn around your votes or whatever. Just be aware that you would continue getting a very high, somewhere in the thousands weighing invoice in the middle of each year after you have been taxed last year, meaning you are.
Actually, no, we're not going to do this. There's a working group that we will do where you can say that all you want. That's not what we're doing right now. The vote was 15. It did not pass. Great. So there's going to be a working group about contribution in after Basel talks. Who is interested in being in that working group?
No.
Oh, sorry, but
That's it. So, yeah, you're doing the right job.
Well, since let's do a no vote and an abstention vote. You're right. Sorry. Thank you. You guys are great. I love you. All right. Who votes no? Okay. 1, 2. Sorry. Okay. Who abstains? Okay. So now, who wants to be in the working group about contribution that we were going to have in a bit?
Ok. Sorry, je commence par la Thomas. Jérôme. Ok, David. Greg.
I mean, I'm not going to vote. I'm just doing a thing. Okay.
Je crois que c'est après.
You said all the names?
Yeah.
All right. Next, Basel will present a human resources burnout proposition. I guess we'll record.
Non, ce serait bien que tu mettes, parce que j'ai un problème de...
Ok, ça marche. Je vais couper mon micro.
Ouais, comme tu veux. Normalement, de toute façon, je vais vous entendre, enfin, je vais m'entendre, quoi. Marie-là, tu m'entends? Enfin, tu peux me dire quand c'est bon, je ne vois pas l'écran en fait. Je peux me dire quand c'est bon.
Ouais, normalement ça arrive là.
I don't know, do you want me to do it in English? If you want, I've prepared something in English and Spanish, so I can do it in 3 languages if you want.
You have to do it in English.
You just tell me and I start.
On a des traducteurs, donc tu peux faire qu'en anglais.
Okay, so I'll do it only in English. So hello everyone, I don't know if you have the presentation yet, and the first page. We were supposed to talk about workplace suffering. I don't know the translation. On slide number 2, the context. Ah non, t'es pas sûr. Wesh.
Ben non.
Souffrance au travail, ça s'appelle, et il y a une Marina. I'll send you the cover in Slack or in Discord, do you prefer?
Mets-le sur Discord, comme ça je peux le partager directement.
Okay, wait 1 minute. Yeah.
I think we have to do this later when the technical problems are solved.
It's not for a technical problem, just I don't have the good document, it's just sharing it. Yeah, but we need to do it now. It's not a...
Do you link?
Tu me l'as mis
Did you receive the
on Discord?
Oh no?
No.
Yes.
Non, je l'ai pas envoyé sur le bon Discord.
What?
Tu l'as pas envoyé sur le bon Discord?
Tu l'as envoyé en message privé.
Ah, ok.
Okay, I send it on the right Discord.
J'ai pas... Ouais, envoie-moi sur le bon Discord, parce que sinon ça m'oblige à changer de page.
C'est quoi le bon Discord? C'est 12 proposals?
C'est là où j'ai marqué, non, c'est la conversation, là où je mets ici depuis tout à l'heure. C'est sur la... En fait, quand tu vas sur le live stream, ça a marqué une petite bulle sur la discussion. Ah, c'est bon, je l'ai. Ok, c'est bon, c'est affiché, c'est en ligne.
Okay. So, let's talk about...
People, come up, please, so we can do it quick.
We have a global situation of a workplace suffering. it was identified during the burnout, workshop during the 2023 General Assembly. So after the workshop, proposal to address this problem. So we worked on that with Marina. And you can go to the slide 3. So what we proposed is a shared service supported by the Federation. We talked to it with the board, with Jérôme Aubin, and the conditions to run such a mutualized service within the Federation was to have a fully funded service, so with grants, and that does not increase the price of the contributions, and also that would be accessible in at least 3 languages, Spanish for all the platforms. So we worked on stuff with Marina. With Marina, we met some people. We firstly met a former work inspector in France who now works as a psychologist in the work area. She did a presentation in January to present what's burnout and the problem it causes in the company, how to address it, how to see it coming. And this first approach led us to a wider approach that was going to see a specialized institute, and we couldn't work with them because they were too expensive and too complicated conditions. And we kept seeking, and we found some perspectives that we want to present you today. The vote will be about whether you want the Federation to create a mutualized service about work suffering, apprehending all the actions perhaps all the actions we tried to set up, or some of them we should have the budget to develop them all. Is it clear?
Yes. Question?
No question. If it's unclear, just tell me and I'll precise everything. So, during the last year, we worked on 5 propositions. These propositions are not, these are just things we can set up if we have some money. We didn't calculate precisely the cost of any of them, but the principle is that if we set up 1, 2, 3, or 5 of them, the whole funding will be outside the Federation, so we have to look for money. We already have some insights to fund, with French public institutes, for instance, but yet we didn't try to look for that money, as we have a vote from the General Assembly. The propositions we prepared are the first one, set up implement a listening unit managed by an external organization. We already went to see the CoopCycle, Friends of CoopCycle organization, to see if they could carry it, with access to people trained in listening and workplace suffering. Every of these 5 actions were overviewed by our friend who is a psychologist and former work inspector. So every of these actions were first monitored, if you want. That's the first action. This action has a high cost because it needs to have someone present and trained to listen to people, and that's a very hard work if hearing work suffering and psychological suffering all day. So it's quite an expensive action, though specialists told us it was a good action if it's well prepared. That's why we kept it. The second action is an ongoing training on psychological risks. As some of you were there, we did a first workshop about psychological risks in and all the people present were quite happy with this workshop. So we decided to do some others, some regular on regular basis, perhaps 2 or 3 a year, and with different topics. For instance, we could have one on what is burnout, how to create a safe environment within one's own cooperative. And this action is not so expensive, though we have to pay professional people and translation for every workshop. But that's a good thing because we can have a lot of people trained at the same time on this issue. The third action is the creation of a state and make it available to every employee in co-ops, every co-op manager and employee. That will be developed by professionals, contain both general information such as what is burnout, what is work suffering, how you address it, how you identify it, and also local information, for instance, in Spain or in France or in Great Britain. Who can you see? How can you seek help and professional help and good quality help? What is the cost of it? Is it free? For instance, in France, it's mostly free. If you are covered by the social security, but maybe in Germany or elsewhere it's not. I don't know every system. So what we would do is seek help and seek information for every country and create a kit that would be improved. This kit would be prepared as well by professionals, so it has a little cost, but once it's done, it's like an asset. You pay it once and then for the whole time. So that's an action we should do, and that will be useful for everyone. We think it's a good one to set as well, and it can be set up very quickly. We already have some people to help us on it, who propose to help us for free. So we'll try to build a first draft as quick as we can. Action number 4. An evaluation of work suffering. So that would be collecting anonymous data and analyzing it so that we know if we have a good mental health or psychological health within the federation.
Vas-y.
Oh.
Merci à Tito.
Marina, tu veux pas reprendre la parole? Ouais, si tu veux.
One of the workshops, did it help or did not take notes? And the fourth action.
Stop. Vas-y. En fait, on t'a pas entendu. On reprend avec Marina parce que ça bug ta vidéo là. Marina?
I propose that Marina presents the rest.
Yeah.
For technical reasons. All right. Who is going to be the voice of Marina? Marina, come up here. And we need someone to do what I did with Audi. Where Audi talked to me and then I present. Okay, great. Okay. Thank you, Alex.
Ah, bah je vais pas le dire. Non. Ok. So the action 4 is implementing and monitoring.
No, sorry, stay very clear. This is not you reading the PowerPoint. Marina, come up here.
It's the same thing.
You present, the idea is the HR people are presenting a proposal. Marina, you wrote this, you made this, it's going to be great. So he is a puppet. He talks for you. You talk in his ear, he talks in English.
Okay. We're gonna put in place a follow-up. So we're gonna create a survey. Okay, the goal is to understand the global health state in CoopCycle and that we can take action. So we can assess and take action if needed. Point 5 is to have someone to intervene if there is a conflict or suffering inside a member corps of CoopCycle. Okay, this person will help like to resolve internal issues related to sufferings. Okay. Okay. So the main question of the vote is: do you want the federation to take action on this topic of work suffering, and according to what was presented before?
All right.
Okay.
It's a global vote on this question, which is: do you agree with all this orientation?
So the vote is one vote for all 5 things.
Yeah.
If we vote no, for example, the working group maybe would make them into 5 votes and change one or something. Yes, but they put it all in one big bucket. So, who votes yes to?
Question.
Do you have questions?
Oh, sorry.
T'as une question?
It's good.
Okay.
Vote now.
Who votes yes?
Moi je suis scriber and translator.
Je fais le translateur si tu veux.
Gardez la main levée. Raise your hand.
19, 20, 21, 22.
22. All right. No votes. Abstention votes.
3.
All right. This has passed. So now,
sorry, I have a question I forgot. Is there a budget with this presentation? So it's to be defined. Budget is to be defined for that.
Okay. We've had proposals with no budget. This is one of them.
What?
We've had a few proposals with no budget. This is one of them. So, all right. Now, and now we have a break. I don't know how long the break is. Someone else should tell me how long the break is. And then we're not half an hour. Great, half an hour.
No, stop. Can you say the board number thing when you're looking for board number?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys.
Sorry.
So 2 things. Thing number 1. Guys, thank you. I know it's been long. Thing number 1. We are looking for new board members. If you are at all interested, please talk to a board member. Me, Alois, Audi, Alvin, Serge. We specifically would like to ask that women and non-binary people, if possible, volunteer. There will later be a vote in the afternoon. Anyone who expresses interest in their candidacy, we will vote on those people here later. And we would like it to not just be dudes.
Being a board member is a great thing to understand the federation better, to take part of activities.
Yeah. Second thing, so we're starting at 2 p.m., the working groups.
The working groups are written there.
Yeah, 1 second. At 1:55, we will make an announcement what working group is in what place. Yeah? Alright.
Yeah, I just said the working group, not all the people that are inside because they know, but just so there is one about grants, which is how many hours per week for grants. One about commercial, which is about what is the fees CoopCycle take, like the amount of the fee CoopCycle takes on commercial acquirement. Bulk purchasing, how many hours per week someone from CoopCycle is paid to work on bulk purchasing, and the contribution system as a whole. So there are 4 of them. And maybe grants is very small.
Great. Thank you guys.
Claro, entonces como es uno de que sube, eso es uno, hay cooperativas pero también hay sus hermanos, ¿no? Vale. Pero es que ya desde principio
we want to make sure we're
actually, I'm interested in because I was hoping that maybe if I know something things better, are like one of our goals in Hungary, in Budapest, are Aywaille, to make more walks like this. And actually, this is how CoopCycle works. I think it's we should work like the same in our homes, like the same. So I did some coordination in maybe I know what it's like this what they're doing now. We do the same, like so it's not new for me. I did a lot of coordination. I have the experience, I have to improve my English a little bit, but and I'm not friendly yet. Yes, that's why I want to try too, because there are no people from the east. And I want more people from the east. Yes, so,
before or after? Yes, name. Check me tell your message is like a title. I'll make a slide with that title. Whatever it will be. Now it's like this contribution is very close to what I don't forget it. Like I sure forget. Like we're having it's hard to do this. Like I said, we have like manifesto, but like last year, some rain happened in our community. So that's why we did a lot of things to improve ourselves, improve our colleagues. So we have like
we are both true because there were several choices.
Miscounted and like all of the
I haven't been voting. I was all up in my presidential role and I forgot to do my presidential role. I haven't voted.
So I have a lot of examples. I can, when we have the meeting in September, I can show you.
No, I have a vote.
Yeah, it's complicated.
There are some like associations
So did anyone gets involved? I get
and they are.
I as dev manager. I'm sorry. I as dev manager get involved.
Yeah, but me doesn't try to do that less than much.
What kind of risks are and how can you, in your role, what can you do about this and how can you improve this? How can
Like so much agreement.
Or can you just activate it? I didn't want people to see my position first.
No, it's okay. Just tell me when.
Yeah, that's good.
Wait. Look at the numbers. 7 and 14. And then 1, 2, 5. Yeah.
All right. Friends. No, that's good. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for not going home. We're almost there. So, remember, we just had debating. It was so much fun. It was great. We made a lot of decisions. Now we're going to vote. It's not debate time anymore. We're going to vote. The vote is what it is, and then we move forward. So, all the things that we already have a vote successfully: training, facilitation network, peer marketing, geographic federations, gender perspective. All that's decided. We only have to finish the other 4. So, starting with bulk purchasing, because it was the easiest. There were 2 people. Jerome, present your proposal.
I came across the only person sitting in the room asking, do you have an issue with 5 hours a week? The person said no. So the re-proposal is 5 hours a week.
This proposal has no budget and no financial mechanism. It is, do we want to find a way for someone to try to do 5 hours a week to get us cheap bicycles, bags, insurance, all the things, and the board of directors and the coordination team will do their best to figure out a financial mechanism. Yes?
Can you remind us how much the original proposal was?
It's the same. The question was, how much was the original proposal? The original proposal was 5 hours a week. So, we're going to vote again on the proposal. Cooperatives and employees who want this, put your hands up, say yes. Serge, where's my counter? I need a new counter. Albin's my new counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What comes in my head?
Sorry. And also, I can vote.
17. With not writing it down.
Who's writing down the counts?
18.
Who votes no?
0.
1.
Oh yeah, sorry. I did.
Who abstains? 1, 2, 3,
4.
Awesome. Okay. What's the calculation? What's the vote total? Great. It passes. All right. You made a compelling. You made a compelling case, Jerome. The proponents have shifted. All right. Commercial.
Yeah. So we had a long discussion, really interesting, between Spanish and French cooperative. The idea is that we have two proposals because we couldn't have a consensus on only one. The first, and it's regarding the type of clients we can gather. This will be for sure a tryout for French people first because we are already on it. But it's something that can be also done for any country with doing commercial stuff. The idea is that the first proposition is a more reasonable proposition for the first year, as we can reassess it next year. So even if we thought about 4 and more years, we can, after this one, we can say yes, it's cool or not. It's the same for this one. The idea is that for the first year, even if we are going to big contractors, big transporters, we are more, the cooperative needs are smaller ones that have smaller spaces. So even if we can, for example, think about a cooperative having 5,000 to 8,000 new income each month with a new transporter, I'm not sure it's the one that will be that we will be able to make the first year because it will be smaller cooperatives that needs to find a new space.
Can you go over that again?
Yeah. What?
That was. Can you say that again? Sorry about it. I also need to.
I don't remember.
We're saying it's smaller cooperatives.
Yeah, the first one. So even if we want the second one between the first one, is that the second one is made in if we think that we can have regarding what we have already, for example, with DB Schenker in some cooperative, some incomes that are between 5,000 to 8,000 euros a month for one cooperative. If we think that if we can do that on a national scale to, for example, 10 cooperatives, this will make like 60,000 euros a month of income for each cooperative, for all the cooperatives. So for the commercial guy, it will make around, if we are on this one, it will make 6,000 income for CoopCycle for paying a full-time position that is around 3,000. So it's perhaps too much. But in the beginning, we thought also that I'm not sure that we will make this type of contract, even if I want to. We are not sure that the cooperative that will benefit of this will have the possibility to have this kind of income with their possibilities like their facilities, their fleets, and the human resources they have, and they can have on the first year. So we were thinking about these two propositions, one that is more reasonable regarding what we can do this first year, and reassess it next year, and the second one that is taking into account that we will go to this kind of income during the first year. And also that is more regarding the fact that perhaps CoopCycle can also put some money on the table to make this department working on the first place, as we already have some funding on other part of CoopCycle. In any case, what we thought was reasonable is that what we want is not to have money from cooperative doing the job, is that we have to, as a commercial department, want to think to help them have new work and don't take on their income, but make our percentage on adding to their income. For example, if we, my job will be to negotiate prices with transporters that the cooperative is well paid for the job he will do, and that CoopCycle have his income inside this final price, and not that the cooperative will pay on their income to fund CoopCycle. This was the general idea, and also that at the end of 1 year, the General Assembly has a right to see what it was done, how much we made, how much it's cost, because it's not only paying my position, it's perhaps paying some trips to go see some clients, perhaps to go to trips, to go to some events, perhaps to see these other clients, and in order to have this kind of deal. And so it's we think it's at the GA
that we need to have that price and perhaps say, okay, we have 100,000 euros of income that is not is for free, right? So what do we do with this? Do we fund another services? Do we where do we put this money on?
Comme tu le sais, j'ai rien compris, mais par contre, on n'avait pas parlé.
Wait, stop. Okay. If you're going to
Stop.
speak in French, no, this is what we're not doing. No, stop.
He's saying that he's not understanding everything because he doesn't have translation or he doesn't hear translation.
Not so fast, but just not speak about there was difference between the lower than 6,000 and 8,000 income. There was a gradation in the income, no? You see what I mean? There was difference of what is the difference between the two propositions?
The two propositions is this one was a fair one that was made regarding the fact that we were talking about this kind of income for a cooperative. We were talking about DB Schenker and Met's income on this kind of deal and what we can have with DB Schenker on 10 cities. Is that? Pardon. And this one is what seems for others more realistic for beginning the trial on commercial capture on the national scale regarding the type of not only the type of clients we can have, but what the cooperative can deal with in terms of volume and in terms of human resources, on fleets, on the facilities they have already to work with. Because we don't have, like, if you have this type of income, you need a lot of bikes and a lot of people on it and a lot of traders and a big warehouse. And in the first months, it's not something that you have really fast. And the bulk purchases can be a way to help it, to help this type of problems resolve. Is that clear? I am that clear or not? I'm clear now?
So we have to decide between one or two,
yeah,
right? Or nothing.
Or nothing. We can say no, we don't agree on anything.
So Jerome, correct me if I'm wrong, but what we do now
He's doing his cry planner.
is we have two options, and everyone can vote yes, no, and abstain on both.
Yeah.
And if everyone says no to both, we don't do either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So someone is telling me to stop. If you have a question, other people might have the question. So we have same thing behind you.
So in this new proposition, there is no differentiation between the integration of.
Yeah, I forgot about this. We at the beginning we started with the two possibilities, but it was said that it was even if we don't have the software integration, because for example some transporters are still working with papers. We have the obligation as the commercial department to find a way to facilitate this integration, even if it's not from a direct software integration. For example, it can be from a scanning, mail scanning thing that will transfer the paper directly on the dispatch panel, as we can do with an invoice, for example. Or it can be something else that we have to think about when we are talking with the transporters to make something viable and facilitating the work of the courier at the end. So it's why we only have one proposition with or without integration, because it's still an integration in the end.
Other questions? All right. Proposal number one. Who votes yes? Who's counting? Who votes no?
Four.
Who abstains?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
Okay. For number 2, who votes yes?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Tu veux lever la main ou pas, Marina? Une fois? Deux fois? 14.
Who votes no for number 2? Who abstains from number 2?
Okay, so no commercial department this year.
Okay.
This was the aspect.
Yeah, we already voted for the qualitative. Yeah. Yeah.
Then it's like made a working group to assess new person.
Yeah, but that will be voted later only. And the next year, whatever. If it's in 3 months, it's in 3 months. But yeah, there will need.
To be clear, we just voted to not have a financial mechanism to fund commercial, which means we don't have, maybe people can do commercial in their free time or something, but we don't then have the capacity or the financing to pay for a commercial role.
But
Which one?
We vote for a principle of funding mechanism, and it was a yes in the past.
yeah, but for now, yeah, sorry.
Could it be the good moment to make a working group to maybe work until the next CA that could be not at the end of
Yeah, but if we don't find a way to finance it, then I'm not working on it.
So, really clearly?
Yeah.
Like,
about these percentages, yeah, but I'm totally willing to make a working group with people to find good percentages and a way of funding this thing.
there is a new proposition on the floor. The proposition is that we create a working group without dedicated financial resources to try to make a better commercial proposition for the future, probably the next General Assembly. How many people think that that is a good idea? To make a working group.
But percentage.
But there's no financial. There's no financial. Alvin, can you count? Can you count? Who votes no? Working group. We don't want a working group. Yeah. Okay, who abstains? 3 abstentions. Right. Can we go back to the vote real quick?
I didn't wrote where I was with the. Yes,
21. All right. Grants.
Get names. Just get names.
Should we make the working group or?
Yeah. There's a working group. Who's in there?
No.
Who is in the working group?
This isn't, we're making a group to talk in 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
So I think whoever wants to be in this working group, write to on Slack. We can we'll
Okay.
Right now,
tomorrow you're responsible to make a working group.
No, I would like to ask if someone is willing to take the lead of a working group about commercial
There's really, he asked a question. Is anyone willing to be leader?
Yeah. When, where?
To be the leader of the working group on the commercial aspect.
That's what.
When, where?
That's what
When?
the leader. That's what the leader.
All the years until we have a solution.
Okay, I'm stopping this. This is not the time for this. We can talk about this in Slack. We can't have a big discussion about when we're how. This is how this works. Go on. All right.
It's like for next
Next. We have all night for you to talk to everyone we want to talk to. All right. The next proposition is grants.
Okay, it's an easy one. Okay, so I think I'm also there. So the vote was quantitative aspect, 8 hours weekly, 400 hours yearly. I think it was just missing some context. So voilà, wait, so on the slide. Well, one sec. You see? Yes. Yeah, it's just to put more context and to explain. It's gonna be quick, I promise. Yeah, sure. But just people get the information. So for now, Remy works 17 hours a week on grants and is helped by Dorleta, which is either as a partner of project or tech fees. This morning we voted for the qualitative stuff. It's like most of the grants we will look for is like CoopCycle plus some local co-ops that implement like the pilot or the experiment and so on. Good thing is like money comes from CoopCycle back to the co-ops. Like the less good thing is like co-ops are accountable as CoopCycle for the success of a project, so we are in it together. And the second one was 8 hours is allocated to grants. And just to explain what it means, is like a person is working 8 hours a week to look for grants always, as long as we don't have enough grants to fund our activities. It's annualized because sometimes you're just watching out for grants and it doesn't take a lot of time. Sometimes you're answering grants and that's what is hard, but what takes time. So you look for grants, answer to grants. If we have all the grants we ask for, we have a lot of money, we don't need to do that, we take this money back and put it somewhere else. Hours are not tied to a person, it's a budget. So Remy, for example, is good in France, Spain, because he knows the things. Maybe some other person is good for Mexico, for Germany, whatever. So the proposition is, do we vote for like a person 8 hours a week looking always for grants? It's 400 hours per year. It's not tied to a person, it's a task. And it has to be followed up like as everything we vote, that did we spend this time on grants or more time, less time? And also did we have success in looking for grants in general? So do you agree or not with that? It's voting time. Yes. Yeah. Is it
questions?
No, sorry, questions. Sorry. Votes. Yes. Yes, budget.
Who's counting?
Myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Who votes no? Who abstains? Okay, cool. Adopted.
Woo!
You abstain?
All right, last one. Spent a lot of time on this. The proposal is, it's a series of questions. So, first vote. We are proposing a model where year 1, 40 euros per month, year 2 to 5, a fixed fee or a percentage. Years 3 to 5 plus, fixed fee or percentage. The cooperative decides inside of CoopCycle for this shop, is a fixed fee or is a percentage. Later we will talk about the number, but right now, is this a model that we want to use? Are there any questions?
Is it for each shop or for the one activity of the core?
Each shop.
Each shop.
Good? Good. Who votes yes? Who is counting? I need a counter. Yeah, come here. 23. Who votes no? Who abstains? Alice abstains. Woo! Choice number 2. Do we have a discount of 20% between this category and this category for both the fixed fee and the percentage in order to reflect the fact that we ask these people to spend time doing useful, productive, cool shit for CoopCycle? Who says yes? Do we have any questions? Sorry. Do we have any questions?
I was just translating.
Okay. All right. Who says yes?
Anyone.
21. Who votes no? 1. Who abstains? 3. Okay. 3 abstentions. Okay. All right. Now, thing number 3. Do we want to have a differentiation in how much the flat fee or how much the percentage between the marketplace, which right now is typically restaurants, but in the future may not be only restaurants, and last mile local commerce, which are the stores that don't use Stripe? Do we want to make the differentiation and charge more for marketplace food tech because it has Stripe and is more complicated and things? Yes or no? Who votes yes? No, it's 1 second. Aquí vamos a tener un fijo y un porcentaje. La pregunta es, para lo que es food tech, en el domicilio, si queremos cobrar más. No sabemos a cuánto, pero si quiere diferenciar lo que es un domicilio, porque es más complejo, cobrar más porque...
Could you just say for what you vote yes or no?
We are voting if we have a price differentiation for marketplace, food tech, and local commerce last mile on the other hand. To charge more for food tech, we will see how much, due to the more complexity of the software and the higher margins. Any questions? All right, who votes yes? Voting yes or no? You ready? Okay, all right, counting?
Difference or not?
Different or not? Different.
18.
18. Who votes no? 2. Who abstains? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Marketplace. So now the follow-up question. We're going to differentiate. The proposal the board had from before was it would be twice. So in this case, it was 15 cents for local commerce last mile and 30 cents for food delivery. So the proposal is it's twice as much. Whatever we end up doing, it'll be twice. Do we vote yes? Questions.
I mean, it would be 5.6.
If we decide 3%, now it's 4 for food tech. If it's 10 cents, now it's 20 for food tech. Questions? Yes? That's later, not yet. So we haven't decided the number yet. The question is, will it be more 2x for food tech compared to last mile local commerce? Maybe we should decide the price for it first. Okay, we're going to skip forward. For the fixed fee, we have 3 proposals. So, we have to vote yes, no, abstain, yes, no, abstain, yes, no, abstain for 10 cents, 12.5 cents, to 25 cents. This is total stops minus 1. So, for food tech, this is 1 order. For a florist who does 1 delivery, it's 1. For a florist who does multi-drop off, and it's pick up, drop off, drop off, drop off, it's 3. For I got 50 packages from Aywaille, it's 50 points. Yes? Question? Alvin?
What's if we have multi-pickup? Does it take into account this in time? Like for example, I know the solution is not here on the software, but is it, will it be the same thing on the other way around if one day we have multi-pickup possibility?
It would be all of the stops, pick up or drop off, minus 1.
Okay. Didn't we say the 15 cents proposal?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
The 15 cents proposal?
I wrote 10, 12.5, 25. Any other questions?
Okay. For example, for when you are making Argia, it's 1 foot for global.
If you import 50 magazines, it would be 49. All right. So, remember, yes, no, abstain, yes, no, abstain, yes, no, abstain. Social economy price point. Who votes yes? What? Who votes no? Who abstains? Who abstains? Okay. Market rate. It's the low end of the market rate. Who votes yes for market rate? Market rate as the competition, the lowest competition charges this. Like all right, Kev?
19.
Okay. Who votes no? Who abstains?
1 no, 2 abstention.
No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 abstentions. 4 abstentions. We have to do this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right behind the...
Solidarity with CoopCycle. Version of 25 cents. Right. Solidarity with CoopCycle, 25 cents. It's solidarity as in we give a lot of money to CoopCycle. Solidarity. It's more expensive. For you, it gives more money to CoopCycle.
Yeah, I know.
25 cents. Who votes yes to 25 cents per point? 3. Who votes no? For 25 cents.
8.
Who abstains? Okay. Okay. The result?
Let's choose.
Alright.
Well, and why not 0.20? Maybe 0.20 is better than.
Because we tried in the room to make 3 proposals, and there are the 3. Alright. We have voted for market rate. Woo! Now we must vote for the percentage. There's only one option, so it's yes, no, abstain, done. It has been proposed 2% because it is similar to what we would have now. And it is close to the competition. I'll go back up. For 2% as the percentage, who votes yes? Can you repeat that? 2%, 4%. Who votes no? Who abstains? Okay. One. All right. Last question, sorry. We now have approved 12.5 cents or 2%. Last question for food delivery marketplace orders, because they are higher margin and have more complicated technology, do we want to charge 2 times the amount, which would be, for one food tech order, 25 cents or 4%? You pick which one.
Can you rate it down in the newsletter?
We already.
So we agreed to make it different. We didn't say how they should.
25 cents or 4%.
Can we give it a second? Okay. I'll ask again. Last time, for food tech marketplace orders, do we want to make them 25 cents and 4% due to the differences in how it works? Sorry, you're right. Is it 25 cents or 4%? You choose. Questions? Okay. Who votes yes? Who votes no? Who abstains? All right. That has been approved. We now have the contribution rule. I think that's it. We're gonna. Sorry. So, there was a proposal to have a red flag system where a cooperative will say to CoopCycle that your contribution model is killing me. Do we think this is a good idea? Yes, no, or abstention? Yes?
Yes, sure.
It's an easy win. Cool. Who votes no? Who abstains? Okay. Last question. We assume that the percentage option will help a lot with some places having different purchasing power than Northern Europe. We have a proposal to make a working group that will try to find a more detailed solution to that problem in the future. Who wants us to make that working group? Yes. Who votes no?
50. 80.
Who abstains?
How many no?
Zero no?
Zero no?
Zero no?
Looks like it. Okay.
Nobody votes no?
Okay. That's all the voting. That's all. Thank you all so much. What? Oh, right.
We discussed.
Yes.
Board member, John? Because we discussed something. About board members, please come.
So.
Okay. Board member, actual, maybe. Come one sec. Okay.
Don't leave, please. Sorry.
What we so last let people board member, they can come for a meeting and they have like 1 month to attend the meeting and see what the workload is decided on the board member. If they will be there only 1 month to
This has been fun. So much. I really thought in the end the contribution one doesn't have. I was ready to leave.
Commercial thing, dude.
Yeah.
What the shit is wrong with these people? No.
It's the problem is like they still all the time feel like despite the fact that is how many people make a decision. They don't have connection. And
start by Please come back. Please come back.
That's what's going on now in the next time. Yeah.
Yes,
sorry. Honestly, it's fine.
Antoine.
Never stays here.
Okay. It's 10 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Good job.
I have one.
What?
Can you stop talking?
Oh, yeah, the board is the worst. Bon, no, it's not the moment. Okay. Quoi? Ouais, un peu petit. Okay. So first, these are the actual board members from the past GA, and even before in the dark ages. Serge, Paul, Herman, Liège as a volunteer association, Ludo from Brest, Aubé Bayonne La Course, Julien Courset de Metz.
Non.
Quoi?
La course.
Ah ok, Corbeau, sorry, Corbeau Course. Rennes, Thomas from Rennes, Nadim from Firenze, Aywaille from Herman, and Nouri from Mensakas. We did
And,
that.
and Valentin from Kugelhof, but he is not here for very valid reasons.
Okay. So now some people are leaving the board now. So me, I'm leaving the board.
And if anyone else is leaving the board, now it's
Please
time to
say
say
that. Yeah, so we know who's leaving. Okay, it's good. So we didn't prepare all the things. On one thing is like the current board, as it will stand, has to meet tomorrow to assess how we're going to conduct the strategy we decided with the votes. So it's a problem because also tomorrow will be defined the mission of the board. Is the board meeting once a month to drink beers? No, to give orders. Or is the board doing real work and they need like to work 2 hours a week? We don't know the time workload of the engagement that is tied to being a member of the board right now. We know it tomorrow evening or maybe in 1 month. Okay, is it clear? So what we propose is that people now can vouch to be a board member. That vouch? Vouch. You will learn English also, so it's very nice. Can vouch. So they say, I would like to be a board member, but I don't know the workload yet, so I can't engage myself on this. I would like to apply. I would like to be a board member, but I cannot. I just can give this many hours, and I don't know how many hours it will require for real. So people just vote now. They can go to the tomorrow's meeting with the board to discuss all of that.
Or later.
Yeah, or later, or like in approximately 1 month, we do the real election, and people say, okay, I can engage myself to be a full board member, and come to the meeting, and so on.
So
questions?
One thing to mention: people that are being vouched for or volunteering themselves. This is for a month from now. So there may be people whose cooperative are not legally, formally in CoopCycle now. It will be in a month. So if you're interested, volunteer, and then we'll see in a month what the situation is. Understood? Okay.
Okay, so who is applying to be a board member?
Wow!
It's very courageous of you.
Who's writing this down?
Okay, do it again. Do it again.
Okay.
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 Dory, Antoine, avec Alessia.
All right. Yep. We'll talk in 1 month. We'll see where they are.
Yeah. Oh, oops.
Okay.
Thanks for all. Maybe final word, President?
One last thing to which I really would like to ask to participate everybody in, and that is that we shouldn't forget the absolutely incredible work of a couple of people standing with their phones in the corner for days and days and days doing all of this work.
As the very last thing, Titouan formally requested to say something, and so here we are, and it's, Titouan is going to say something.
Thank you for the little instant of attention. I would have preferred to say that before rating the people that had to make this GA, but I feel obligated to make right now, when we are all together, a review of the democratic GA process, let's say, and I think it's really important that we start acting like a real co-op, even though we are officially an association, but we are willing to be a cooperative. So I express myself here from my cooperative point of view, because my colleagues agree with me. I'm talking as a former board member, and I'm also talking for a few people I talked with during this week. But I really do think it's very important for the next GA to have a list of proposals that are sent before the event, like from 2 weeks to 4 weeks before, so we can talk, study the proposals. And then I also think it's a real good idea that we take more time during these days to do the actual votes, because normally we should have time. It can be a time that has been defined for each proposal, but the time to debate the proposal, to change them during the debates. I think this is very important for the next GA, as has already been mentioned in the previous GA. I also think it's really important to make the GA reports in the week after. It's something kind of mandatory, but not totally mandatory, but that is very important for us to go back to the cooperative with all the decisions we took. So this is a really important document that we need. This is something, for the proposal, I think it's also very important to have like 3 language on each proposal going, but this is review we can say afterward, but this is also important. And one of the main goal of General Assembly, so of us members, is to vote for, normally in a normal cooperative, is to say yes, the good and the not good of the previous year direction of the cooperative, but also to vote the budget, it's kind of important, and the new board members. So I think this is things that we should start to implement more and more. And I have 2 more things. One is that we could actually use this time all together, that is very precious, to talk a lot about like proposal, and also to create group works, to structurate group works, and we could think about making 2 times a year GA, the other one being online. It's not easy to make an online GA, but it's still easier to vote things online sometimes, and this time is precious to discuss. Yeah. And to finish, the board has done a real big job in a way, like to define all the strategy, all the new things we did this week. So thank you to them a lot. But a big part of the job they did, a big part of the job some of them are doing, isn't really like totally the role of the board. Like the main role of the board is to gather once a month, to have a strategy, to follow the strategy. This is the real goal of the board. We should have a director or a director that is preparing the GA, but yeah, okay. And to prepare the GA, but then it's our role as member to create work groups and to develop some ideas, some new systems, some animation, to study innovation stuff. Like it's really our job to create and lead these working groups. Yeah. So I know we didn't fix a lot of working groups. I'm really grateful that there is a gender committee and working groups over. I can't remember all the working groups, but it's really our role now to make these working groups alive. And I know we don't have time to structure them right now, but I also think
we have time.
It's when we are in present shows that we can engage yourself in working groups and then make them do their job during the week. And so to directly jump on that, but I have a first working group that I'm willing to lead.
We don't do it now. Sorry, it's time.
No, I just finished. I just finished on this idea. I was talking with some of the searchers over there. One of them gave me like a good idea, but it's called a time bank, which is like we could say that every member of every member of the structure have time points they have to give to CoopCycle to voluntary for CoopCycle. And the idea is like we have a lot of stuff to do in CoopCycle. We have QA testing, we have a gender committee, we have what do we have? We have to organize the workshop. Some people are actually making this workshop freely for us. We have to organize some logistics for the GA. Like all of these are voluntary work that are not well totally balanced within the co-ops. So I think it's a good idea to now try to structurate this voluntary work we do for the federation. And the idea of the time banks is like every co-ops have an amount of points. Let's say like gender committee takes 50 points. Yeah. I know it takes a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Gender committee, for example, take 50 points. If you co-op is willing to participate to gender committee, it's already 50 points that has been done. Maybe the co-op have to do 100 points. So yeah, this is the kind of thing that time bank does.
Okay. So then we'll put on Slack and we'll talk tonight, and people are excited. We will make this happen. There's even that's part of the thing we voted on, and it's approved. So we'll move forward. But now we do need to start finishing. I do want to say that this year went literally 1,000 times better than last year. And I, for one, am very, very thankful for that, for my own mental health and sleeping time. And I want to make sure it's really well known that Aywaille and Serge did a million things to make this happen. The reason why so many of us have been able to be awake, alert, and have actual thoughts today is because we all shared that workload, and especially them. So that is the end of the GA. No. Oh, apparently it's not. I don't know. Okay, all right. That's the end of what I'm presenting here. Thank you, everyone.
Just 2 words from us. Just to say something about the preparation of the General Assembly. I'm not alone to have prepared it. And if I can stay here all the week, it's because Diane could stay at the office. And, thank you, Diane. It was a real pleasure to see you in our country. Really, it's a pleasure to make you discover the waffle and the hills and all the stuff we are proud in Belgium. So for tonight, we have Bar on a bicycle who's coming here to make party with us. So the team for the dinner will cook at the place we have dinner, and we take back the dinner here to have dinner here. So. So stay there, stay here. We bring back the beer also which is in the fridge over there. Stay here, and please, if you can, just make the things good here before tomorrow morning, because if we don't do that together tonight, somebody will do this alone tomorrow morning.
Do we need to clean the floor?
We don't have to clean, we just have to put the table and the chair like there was the first day of the week.
Just on.
That's all.
Just to finish, I can understand that what said Titoin, it too long, but I think a large part that what he said was important, interesting, and I think we must speak all around
Yes.
together about this sentences.
Yes, of course, and you can also put sauce on the sheet on the window. GA feedback, it's also there for that kind of sauce. Yeah. Thank you very much. Have a good night.